Well, hi, this is my Tunnel Hill 50-mile belt buckle. Really nice that I earned this past Saturday. And this will be my last race report until I think I don't have anything planned until the Indiana Trail 100, which I'm going to be doing the 100 miles with my friend Bob Cisco. And so we need to start getting together and running some. Now that he's got the Owen Putnam past him and I've got this past me, we need to start working on getting together and getting a few nice long runs in. So let me just tell you a little bit about Tunnel Hill. This was the second year of the race. I believe they had about 400 total altogether. There were more 50 milers than 100 milers. I was technically 100. I was going to just go ahead and drop down to 50 before I got there. But the race director, Steve Durbin, just was telling people, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll count it as an official 50 if you have to drop down." I went, "Oh, okay, might as well do that." But I figured 50 would be the smart thing to do. So I headed over to Illinois, and I actually went down Brownstown, down through Salem, and had lunch with my friend Margie, one of my Lilly fellow rider friends. And I had a book from her signed by Eva Core, Surviving the Angel of Death, and I've been meaning to get that to her, and I just hadn't done that for a long time. So we had a nice hour getting all caught up. Then I headed over to Marion, checked into my hotel, took a little nap, sipped down to Vienna. Looks like Vienna, but it's pronounced Vienna. And this year they had the pack and pick up in a better place. So that the high school was bigger and more open, and plus there were more people. They almost had to be there. And so they had a nice small drop bag for me, and another bag, and a nice shirt, and a couple other things. I can't remember what they were. Ran into the race director, Steve Durbin, and I knew this was going to happen. He said, "So are you singing the national anthem?" I go, "Well, am I?" Because I did last year, and I hadn't heard from him, so I think I kind of guessed he assumed I was going to do it. So he said, "You don't have to." "Oh, no, I'll be glad to do it." So I ended up doing the national anthem again. I think I did a little bit of it better this year. And so they had a nice, pasta meal, all that, and ran into a bunch of my friends, and then sat at a table with some people that I knew from Howl at the Moon. So it's just fun. The more I go to these, the more people I know, and a lot of people know me because of these little video things that I make. So went back to Marion, and actually stopped, got some food for breakfast, so I didn't have to go out, and so I made on Saturday morning early, I made me some instant oatmeal and coffee and chocolate donuts, which I never eat, but they were good. Headed down and got there a little early, but met some friends. I had some extra Hoka shoes that just the tongues of the shoes don't work out for me, so I brought a couple pair to give to Wendy Miller's husband Tim, and so I got that all worked out. Did the national anthem. It was like upper 30s when the race started and sunny, and so I got to see Sherry and other people that I know. And at the beginning of the race, after I did national anthem and off we went, I decided I ran for a little while with Sherry, and then finally I said I need to start doing some walk run things. So I let her go, and then I was doing I had a timer, and I would run 2, walk 1. And when I walk, I'm really moving along pretty fast. Some people have trouble. People that are just jogging, they almost have trouble getting past me very fast because I'm pretty fast. And I got some nice compliments from people going, "Wow, you are rock steady and you're really fast with that walk. I wish I could do that too." And so during that first, you start at Vienna and you go out you go south, and you end up with a total of about 26-ish miles. So you about do a half marathon out and then back. And boy, I saw that leader coming back real fast. He was the leader of the 100-mile race, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, he was faster than the person that won the 50-mile, his 50-mile split. And he ended up, like 12 hours something. He wasn't crazy far from the record. And Harvey Lewis, who's quite a runner, I think he was an hour or two after him. So he had the guy from Minnesota, I think, had quite a day. So of course I get to see people as they're coming back, and that was a lot of fun. Every now and then I'd hook up with someone. We'd be walking together for a while. After a while, I just ended up pure walking, just my power walking, and I just that's where I am right now. So and that's fine. So I got out there to about 3:10, 3 hours and 10 minutes, and headed back. Took a little longer to get back to the middle, and now I've done a marathon. So at that point, you have to. It's around 2 or 3, so you better grab your lights because you now have 24 miles altogether, 12 something and back to finish your 50. And so I grabbed lights, made a strategic error. I grabbed a light jacket, had a long sleeve shirt and a vest. So it turned out it wasn't quite enough. I mean, I didn't die or anything, but I should have grabbed this merino wool layer, base layer, and it would have been perfect. And then my gloves that I had were not quite enough. I needed something a little warmer. But that's okay. So off I go. I got to talk to Tim and Wendy Miller for a little while. And then off, and I got to see Tracy Falbo come in and finish, which I was there last year when she finished. When she came through. This time she did the 50. So we communicated before a little bit on Facebook. And so I went over and said hi again because I've seen her before. And she wants to see my Auschwitz talk sometime. So we got to talk a little bit. Off I go. And it's pretty. I saw a beautiful buck that knew I didn't have a camera. He stood out there in the sun, on the trail, and the sun backlit. It was beautiful. He just looked at me going, "You don't have a camera." And then he took off. And so things are really spread out now, but I did see people coming back. Then before you know it, it's getting dark, and boy, the temperatures, boom, they really start to go down. So I wear a waist light. I have a headlight, but I don't really like it. I get that tunnel cone of darkness around. I just don't like that. And then at one point, I just happened to glance up and I turned my light off, and just the glories of the heavens opened up. My eyes adjusted real quickly, and all of a sudden, there was no light pollution, totally dark out there. And you could just see, I don't know the constellations and all that. I probably was seeing the Milky Way. It's just gorgeous. It was just absolutely beautiful. Because there was really, I don't think there was any moonlight at all. If there was, I didn't see it. Anyway, that was neat. I did that 2 or 3 times because it was just so beautiful. So I get out to the aid station, which is 2 miles away from the end. That's where I dropped last year. And I had a drop bag, but I think I didn't get anything. And so then I went. You go out almost 2 miles, and there's sort of kind of an aid station there blocking the trail, and they take your number down. And I don't know if they do anything electronic with it, but they do take it. I don't know if they send it back, but there wasn't a timing map. So I'm coming back, and I'm passing people as I said, do the little 2 mile out and back, and lo and behold, when I get back to the Tunnel Hill aid station, there's Sherry sitting right there on a cooler. I go, "How did I miss you?" We had passed each other, and we both had our mouths shut, and so we didn't hear each other. She had hooked up with a gal, Ernestine, I believe, who didn't really have a proper light, and so she was just staying with her. And so the 3 of us ended up going to the end, and it's like 7 miles from there to the next aid station. Usually they're supposed to be that you want. Things like this, they try to have them between 4 and 5, but there aren't any crossroads there, so it's a long stretch, and it seemed like 20 miles. We were really getting fed up, really were. We knew we were going to be done, and we were getting colder and colder. I know Sherry was quite a bit colder. Ernestine got nauseated a little bit, so we had to slow down, and so we got back to Vienna and finished at 14 hours and 35 minutes, and so I told them I was going to drop at that point. Sherry was a 50 miler, and Ernestine was a 100 miler, but she decided to drop as well. And so it really, it went well. But I was having a little trouble with my ankles were bothering me some, and then the left side of my left foot, outer edge. And so the mistake I made, besides not getting an extra layer, was I decided to wear. I've been hiking mainly lately. That's really what I've been doing lately. So I've been wearing my Cascadias, which are not Cascadia trail shoes, which are not super insulated. I mean, they're not real soft and cushioned. That's the word I want. And so I had my Hokas there that I normally wear for long distance, and I just didn't put them on. I thought it didn't make any difference. So I get in the car, go to sleep. When I wake up, I move my ankles around. When I got out to get ready to leave and go to McDonald's over there, eat, and then head home, I could barely walk. The left side of my foot was just not on fire, but it really hurt a lot. And I thought, oh man, I'm in trouble. But I didn't even look at my feet. I did take my shoes off when I got in the sleeping bag, but I got them back on. And so walking into McDonald's, I was really slow. And then when I stopped at a Denny's at Evansville just to get a snack, same thing. And man, it really hurt. I get home, and take off shoes and socks, and I've got swollen feet, but especially my left. And I usually never have that. And I realized I'd done a dumb thing, and I was really worried, especially Monday morning, that I had a stress fracture. It hurt so much. And so I did rice, I did the elevation, all that stuff, and wrapped it. And it went down, down, down. Today is Wednesday. I did go to Dr. Warren today and x-ray, no fractures. And that place that hurt just wasn't even hurting anymore. So I had obviously, gone 50 miles on shoes that weren't cushioned as much, and it was just a stupid thing to do. So, but I'm grateful I didn't end up really doing some big time damage there. So I'm gonna, in a couple more days, I'm going to keep my foot wrapped and keep it elevated, and then just start walking. And then next week I'll start working on running and doing some tough hiking, and get ready for Indiana Trail 100. So I think that's it. So nothing real exciting. It was really fun to find Sherry at the end there, and we literally just walked it. We walked it in. And we were ready to be done. We were really over it, weren't we, Sherry? So, but it was a good event. Would I go back? I would still like to go back and get 100 there, but we shall see. I just wish it wasn't so flat. I wish there was some more variation for your ankles to get some motion. But okay, that's long enough. See you. Bye.